right, ball. Grinch, welcome back, man. Technical difficulties. Grinch, you performing tonight? Just waiting for bro to get back on here. Yeah, just waiting for bro to get up on here, man. Send him the invite. On Point Sydney's GOAT tonight interview. We about to get connected in a minute. Joe King, what's good, Brody? Justin, what's good? What's good, man? How you doing? Share the live for me too. Just waiting for what the fuck is going on with this. Just chilling, man. I'm looking on the stars, man. I'm also experimenting on YouTube Live. It's my first YouTube Live, so we'll see how that goes. Justin Newman, where you at, Brody? Grinch, tag Justin for me. I wonder if he's having some technical shit. My dog. Good. What's good, bro? Appreciate you, bro, man. Look like y'all killed y'all show, too. I'm going to check out the all the footage I seen later. Damn, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? What's happening? We ain't started yet. Trying to figure out a couple things. My dog Sky Exotic, bro. How that show go last night, bro? Yeah. Major Motion Boys. Yeah, I'm just waiting for bro to hop on real quick. We're gonna talk some shit. There we go. There we go. Sydney's goat in the building, man. We smoking on the hot pack tonight.
Yo, we're here. I don't know what it is, man. It must be the reception. You can hear me, see me. Let's start. Let's kick it. Doesn't matter. Let's go.
There we go. Good to see you, dog. What's going on, man?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you. We locked in.
Awesome. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay. So before we start this interview, I just wanted to say that On Point is Pontiac great, one of the GOATs status. So big salute out to you for that, man. A very well respected MC in the Michigan Pontiac, also now all over the world, with a lot of over the world with a lot of precise on point delivery in his meaning, his bars, his story, everything in his music. So big shout out to you for that. I am so blessed to have this interview tonight. Sorry
Me
about the
too.
interruptions. Because you're in Michigan, Pontiac, I'm in Australia. Sometimes we have a few IT or Michigan, internet problems. So I do apologise. Both on your end, I've seen a lot of the different things that you're doing, man, in the music industry. So big shout out to you for that. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
But before we start, is there anything that you'd like to say to me or the public?
Man, if you ain't on here, it ain't diamonds, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing to be here. Aiming for Greatness Reloaded just dropped June 11th. Me, you, and Grinch are cooking up some really cool stuff, man. I can't wait to show the world, man. I appreciate you having me.
Awesome.
Sydney's
So thank you
dope.
very much. Thank you very much for that. What On Point's trying to say is we have a lot of work coming on. We've got a few projects coming on as well. The guys have jumped on a lot of different features, a lot of different songs with us as well, for international exposure from Sydney to Michigan, Pontiac. As I said, the absolute greats, the GOATs. So big shout out to you guys for everything that you're doing with Whiteboy Productions, Sydney, the GOAT. Massive, massive shout out. And I'm honoured and blessed to be with you guys on the projects and to have known you guys as well. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about yourself first so the public can understand who you are a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so On Point was born and raised in Michigan, Pontiac. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And I believe that your father was a drummer. You always wanted to be a drummer, but by the age of 10, you turned that all around and you wanted to become a hip hop producer. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you nailed it on the head. It was about, yeah, 8, 9, 10 around that age. Um, being a producer was more of my era type thing versus his era. You know what I mean? He was a drummer and shit. So, but I couldn't afford the equipment. The equipment for production was expensive. It's not readily available like it is nowadays. So, yeah, I started writing rhymes, poetry, things like that. And, I just found a love for that instead. So I just took it off from there.
Okay, that's good news, man. So basically, I also want to talk about how you were a CEO, co-founder of Snap Mode Click since 2009 to present. Let's have a little bit of chat about what that means to you and how all that happened.
Okay, so Snap Mode Click, yeah. Um, when I first started doing music, I started doing music with my brother Fire and some later years Grinch, Snow, and we were fresh out of high school. You know what I mean? We were sneaking in clubs and performing with them and doing little mini tours and stuff. Um, we did that for quite a few years. We did a lot of headlines. We opened up for like Dizzy Bone, Fat Joe, Big Herc, a lot of people. We were opened up for a
Wow.
lot of Young LA when he first popped off. Um, some things happened, some transitions happened, and me and my brother went our separate ways, and we started Snap Mode Click. That was like some people that was in our neighborhood. Two of them, Tech the General and Zarilla, were both producers. Me and Fight was both artists, and what was unique about us was every last one of us owned a studio. Everybody in the
Wow.
city came to two of my dudes. A lot of the people in the city came to my two dudes to record, so we were always in the mix with everybody. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Nice. All right. And you go by the stage name of On Point. That correct?
yes sir.
Okay. That's just coming from your name, or that's your nickname, or?
Yeah, you know what? Like somebody that's like an uncle gave me that name. He used to cut our hair. He was an OG, but he used to see. I used to go to work. I went to work. I had side hustles. I had a job. I went to school. You know what I mean? I did my music. He liked how I carried myself. So he was like, "Man, you on point." Fun
Nice.
fact: I ain't never really said this on no interview. I used to go by Point Blank because I used
Oh,
to be
wow.
a young gun fanatic and stuff. So I went by Point Blank, and he said that to me one day, and I just picked it up from there.
Nice. Well said, man. Well said. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit,
Decompress.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about you. So you're growing up, struggling in the hood, things like that, which what your music is all about, which is what the
Yeah.
story is, and how you grew up, and how pretty much is why you're doing music is how you struggled when you were younger and how you were grown up until now. So I just want a little bit of talk about that. You have a music poetry background, and that saved your life a few times. So can we have a little bit of a chat about how that saved your life?
Yeah, because growing up in the city like Pontiac or anywhere really, man, you once you're outside, you're outside. You know what I mean? My
Yep.
mom and dad, they both worked. I was on my own, so you start getting into the life, and it forces you. You forces you. I had to walk everywhere, so I had to walk through neighborhoods. I had to be in a lot of stuff, so I was getting into a lot of stuff. The older I got, I started losing friends, murder, prison. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was doing some of the same stuff they were doing, sometimes worse. And I feel like God spared me. And by being in the studio with my brother, I was, instead of being out in the streets, that's where I found my passion. And during that times when I was losing people, so I'd be in the studio and I'd get a call, so and so got killed or so and so did something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it
No, I
became
understand.
a regular thing.
Yeah, no, I understand. So basically, the reason I ask that is because there's a lot of there's a lot of realness in your music. That's what made me look at you in the first place, like your bars, your message, your delivery, who your contacts are, who you've worked with, and things like that. We will go into that a bit later. But
Sure.
yes, certainly growing up in a hard neighborhood or growing up in a rough background sort of thing makes you a bit stronger as a person than having a silver spoon in your mouth all your life, because I've had
Right.
to grow up in different things in my life, different parts in my life. I grew up the hard way, not the easy way. I had my mum died when I was very young. I was raised by a single dad for a little while. So I do understand, like on a personal
Sorry to
side,
hear
just to
that, bro.
share a little. Yeah, so just to share a little bit with you, I did. There's a lot of different things I grew up with that I chose to go down a different path. Where my parents wanted me to go down the right path, chose to go down a different way, which has made me be who I am today. Which has made me be in the hip hop scene and a lot of different other things. So that's why. But more importantly,
That's
why
real.
is Pontiac called Yak Town?
Yak Town Pontiac. It's
Why
just
is it called that?
it's just it's just something that I don't know. Pontiac. We just call it the Yak Town.
All right, and all right. So I just want to give you a bit of a rough rundown, like I do normally on my interviews.
Yeah,
Your
talk your shit.
population in your population in Michigan, Pontiac, there is around. I think it's around 80,000 now. It used to be around 65,000. So I
Yeah.
think you've got about 80,000 people in that area now. Just to let you know, Sydney itself has a population of 6 million people in Sydney alone.
Yeah. That's a big ass city, man.
Yeah. As you know, we're surrounded by a lot of water. You would have seen that on a lot of different things that I've showed you.
Yeah.
Um, all right. What do you think about Whiteboy Productions Sydney and why?
What do I think about White Boy Productions?
And
Man, I
why?
like you. You're thorough, man. When I was watching some of your interviews, I think even before Grinch, man, you're thorough. You do a full sweep. You know, you really get into. I'm sitting here listening to you like, yeah, he's got the years right. A lot of times I have to explain that. You do your thorough research, and I like that. It shows your journalism versus just anybody who goes live. You know what I mean? Um,
I
I like the
appreciate that.
opportunities you give because when I was coming up, those opportunities was not there.
Mm.
When I was coming up, getting features and stuff, we spent 5, 6, almost $10,000 for certain. You know what I mean?
I
You're
know.
giving good opportunities, man, and you're sharing everything people are doing. I really like what you're doing, man.
I appreciate it.
I think like the younger generation, like Big P and stuff, them connecting with you is going to be vital to their networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh, just the knowledge I have and the right direction that I can put them in and what I can explain to them about the hip hop and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's correct. Like La Porsche and all that, Big P and all that said that to me already. So, much appreciated, man. I do respect that. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
What have you seen as an artist? What are the highs and lows that you've gone through? Just to tell a few people, just a few examples as an artist. What's your highs and lows you've gone through?
Man, motherfuckers be in the comment. Wrong time being funny, man. Y'all come on here, share the live and show some love. I don't want to hear them jokes and shit.
I don't worry about any.
Some
I
of the
don't worry
highs
about
and
all
lows.
them.
So back when I'll say some of like in Snap Mode Click days, man, we were wild, bro. We were young. We had everybody over at the studios, which brought all of what I'm saying, drama. Pontiac Small, as you just heard.
Yeah.
Um, we were always in the mix to people bullshit. Even now, even with shit, my city having issues with some people in the Cypher Society, I get pulled into shit because I'm so known. You know what I mean? Everybody's Pontiac's so small. You don't got if you don't know a person, you know their family. You know what I mean? And I have a good reputation. I have a lot of family. So anytime something goes down, music related, it seems like I get pulled into that shit. So I say that's one of the downsides. Snapmo Click, we were wild. We were fighting people at shows and shit, doing diss tracks in people's faces.
Okay.
um,
Wow.
some of the highs are stuff like this, being able to create with people like you live on a different side of the planet. I
Yeah.
don't think people really understand how valuable that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
International. Yeah.
you're in a country I've never been to. You know what I'm saying? But we're networking. We network daily, and I feel like that's the highest people take for granted because of the internet. I use the internet to my advantage. That's how I connect with so many people, man. So I say that's a high.
100%. 100%. Well, they didn't have the internet back in the days. They used to have CDs and used to go
Big
and see the
P,
artists. And used to
that's a
go to the
fact.
music. You used to go to the music store and used to meet the artists. You used to sign the CD for you. You used to go and buy your CDs. There was no internet and things like that. So to answer your question, you would be crazy not to use the internet and all the exposure as an artist coming up now. It makes it easier for an artist now to be able to do the things we're doing and things like that that you could never do back in the day when we first started the music. So
Yeah,
yes, the internet is definitely putting artists up there and getting them a direction that they couldn't do in the past. So yeah, that's definitely true. What are your top 5 things that you think an artist must have these days? What are essential for an artist to move forward? Top 5 things you think?
top 5 things. Number one, you got to have your business together. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to register music. You got to know how to do copyrights. You got to have your publishing together. You got to know what you're doing. Number two, um, you have to have consistency.
Oh,
You have to have consistency. Sometimes you just got to get stuff done. Um, Yeah, so consistency, I would say you have to network. You have to have a networking team. Network with people, whether it be people in your city, people in your state, people whatever. You have to have a networking. I'll just say a team for that one.
Okay.
Um, damn, I had a list of it too, man.
How about, what I'll do is I'll help you out on my top
Yeah, go
five and
ahead, go ahead.
what I think. All right. So very important, which you didn't mention, which
Goliath,
I
what's
already
up?
know. I already know that you know anyway. Very important. An artist must have live shows to be an artist.
Yeah, live shows. Yep.
Okay. And the reason I say live shows is because artists get paid from a live show. Artists get seen from a live show. Artists get to be able to meet their fans and different stuff like that in person from a live show. Next up, which is very important, is marketing, which is your water. So if you don't have any marketing, basically, and things like that, so when you bring out your song, there is the flower doesn't grow because there's no there's no water. So when I say that, I mean the marketing is your water and the song is your flower. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So without any of that, it doesn't work. On top of that, you would have seen a lot of the things I've got in the background, a lot of things I'm wearing. Merchandise, very important.
Yeah,
All right.
merchandise. Yep.
Speaking of merchandise, I
And
have
content.
10 merchandise lines worldwide, all over the world, that I've done in all different in all different things. So speaking of merchandise, big shout out to Fat Customs Printing.
Oh
They're
yeah,
actually going to be doing.
Fat Man Customs. Hell yeah, that's my dog right there.
So he's going to be doing my next drip. So all the nice merchandise you see and some nice different things I've been putting up,
You
they're going
reached
to be
out to a
doing my.
good person, a reliable person, good quality.
Yeah.
And he's connected to the city, man. He knows everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be doing a lot of my merch and masks and new masks. So you guys will be wearing the merch and all that. We're already preparing all that in the background for you. On top of all of that, I do believe that you need a budget and you need
Yeah.
persistence. Now,
Absolutely.
when I say persistence and a budget, anybody that goes online or anybody that's real in the music industry know how persistent I am, know what I'm doing, know what, everything that I've been doing over the time that I've been doing it. I've done 600 interviews with all different stars all over the world at an hour an interview. That's persistence. I go in the background. I work with the different artists. I reach out to you daily. I live 24-hour flight away from you guys. I interact with you daily.
Yeah.
People that
Yeah, you
people,
do. You absolutely do. And not just me, Grinch, P Zoo.
everyone.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody you've connected with. Yeah, definitely.
That's right. Not only that, you need to have international exposure, not just around the corner or a live show around the corner from you. So that's what I try to give artists is the international exposure.
Oh,
As
for
you know,
real. Say that again. Say that one more time, man. They take it for granted, bro. They take it for granted, bro.
so what you need is international exposure. I'm here in
Exactly.
Sydney, Australia, Darling Harbour, Sydney, Australia, right on smack bang in the middle of the water. So I am here. I put artists on the map. I've been doing that for a long time. I've been working with artists for over a long time. I know what I'm doing. I know what international exposure is and what it gives those artists and where you can go with different places. There's people that I've done interviews with that are now working and assigned with big stars. So that gives you an example of what I do for artists. But more importantly, as an artist, what would you like to happen with your music career in the next 12 months and why?
You know what, man? I've had opportunities to have different kind of
Of
deals,
course.
distribution. I really just want to be able to have my own fan base where I could do my thing. I want to be self-reliant. I don't want to have to sign to nobody. I just want to be independent, like artists like your C Mobs. You know what I mean? Stuff like that,
Yep.
like where they grind on their own. They got their own fan base, bro. Just having him on the album, and I know you know who C Mob is, right?
Yeah. Of
Because you
course.
mess with a lot of those guys, bro. Like he's got people checking me out. He was a good feature to have, man. Um,
100%.
I just want to be self reliant like that, man. Shout out to Nigeria. Yeah.
100%, man. So, what do you think sets your music apart from other rappers today, and why?
Integrity,
Yep.
because I
I
know
heard,
what I'm saying is based on real life experiences, things I went through. It's my real emotion, my real reactions, integrity, and then I go that extra mile for my quality too. As you know, man, I know you know.
oh yeah, I know.
I'm big on quality because I spent a lot of years where I didn't have it. I missed out on a lot of group opportunities because our quality wasn't there. You know what I mean? As far as mixing, mastering,
Yeah.
artwork, presentation. And shout out to David Glaff. He said that, yeah, like your presentation, your image, man, that's a lot. And I take that really serious, especially now that I have all the resources. So, but definitely integrity, man. Anybody can
Yeah.
rhyme, anybody
Yeah.
can have rhythm, but to put your truth behind them rhymes, that's priceless to me, you know.
100%. So just have a little bit of touch base on that. So at the moment, with that kind of stuff, like you said, it needs to be on point. So like your songs need to sound like they're mixed and mastered. It doesn't sound like you've done it on the phone at home. There's a lot of
Right.
different stuff that I've seen in the music industry, and different stuff that people put out. It's crazy. It's not done properly. It's just wasting time, wasting money, and things like that. So when I try to post something of yours, or I put something up of yours, and you say that it's not this and it's not that, I understand. But to advertise someone, they need to see, without going on and clicking something, or to do that, they need to see it in front of them, because people are lazy. So that gives you an example why I do that.
No,
They
and
don't
I
like to go.
understand too. That's why I don't get mad at you, man. But I have had a lot of people who have done a disservice to me by doing things like that. Not people on
Yeah,
your level though. You, of course, I got to give you that. But and it ends up being. I mean, I know sometimes it's you doing it to be nice. Not you. They was doing it to be nice, but it's like you doing me a disservice for real, because you know what I'm saying. Shout out to my boy Muncie and Ozzy, man. They go that extra mile to make sure we have that quality. Again,
well,
another resource I did not have coming up. There was no cipher societies and stuff like that. Like they wasn't showing
speaking
me
of
and Grinch no love when we was coming up, man. You know what I'm saying? Snow, they wasn't showing us no love around our city like that, and we was out here with everybody. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
big shout out to, well, now that's what I want to talk about next. So big shout out to Muncie, and a big shout out to Big P, a big shout out to all the people associated with Cypher Society.
Anxious
Let's talk
Panic,
about,
what's up? He's another one. I'm my bad. Justin Penny, that's another one. Anxious Panic, man. He's out there in Australia too. He been fucking with
let's
me for a few years.
Oh, so look, let's talk about Cypher Society, how that all happened, and you know how you could, as I said to everybody, and everyone knows this, it's the best cipher group in the world. So
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Let's bring it up to the forte,
let's
and
do
how
it.
did that all happen, and how did you guys get into Cypher Society? How did Muncie get you guys?
Mon so the Cypher Society, man, I don't know, I just started seeing a lot of videos, man. Their videos started popping up in my feeds. I was always doing my music and shit, man. Then I finally seen my boy Lambo Bricks, who's he's in the Pontiac area. He's from Flint though, but he's around here. I had music in a video with him. I seen Mr. Grinch and I seen Snow. I seen their clips. And I'm like, damn, man. I reached out to Grinch and Grinch is like, come on, man, come, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm busy, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going in and out of town doing shows and videos and shit like that. And then I seen Dirty Dan, the real Dirty Dan, man. He's from Pontiac too. He's one of my younger dudes. I seen a clip of his, man, in this video. His bars were so hot, man. I'm like, shit, so I talked to Grinch. I met up with them at Chapter 30 in Detroit. And I went just as a fan, just as a fan. Um, by that time, I had been checking out videos and stuff leading up to it. So I came as a fan, and I
No,
watched the energy. I watched the good energy. I watched the positivity. I loved what they were doing. Um, got in the video, made some connections and stuff, and after that, the rest was history. I filled out my paperwork for it, sent it in, got accepted almost immediately. Um, yeah, and the rest was history, man.
Nice. Let's just talk a little bit about it. So, Sofa Society has been doing they do their thing. They do their thing every week or every second week. They do their live video. Sofa Society. Big shout out to everybody that's participating in that. They are absolutely phenomenal, guys. I'm telling you this. I'm from Sydney, Australia. They are the best cipher group in the world. Now, let me tell you why. COB, King Crooked Eye, all the boys, they used to be the Cypher group, right? They now
Mhm.
are not they now are not doing the Cypher group anymore. They're no longer a group. So Cypher Society is the best in the world.
Yes, sir.
Let me assure you, go on to Cypher Society group and check out what we're talking about. These guys, young talent, older talent. They bring the bars, they bring the beats, delivery, what real hip hop is all about. To the fact where I've actually gone to big stars and showed them Cypher Society and got some real good remarks and comments. Big celebrities that have been in the game 30 years plus have showed me and told me that Cypher Society is definitely coming up. Now, don't worry about a like and a follow on TikTok and a like and a follow on Facebook. I'm telling you this right now. I started off with one follower and one like. If nobody's watching or nobody's liking, let me assure you, people are watching. There's just a lot of people in the industry, unfortunately, that don't like to put people up. So that's why I've
A
been
lot.
doing what I do for a long time, because I put artists up on the pedestal so they can be seen. There's a lot of people that try to hide them. So that's why don't worry about likes and follows, whatever
Gatekeeping.
you do.
We call
People,
that gatekeeping over here.
yeah, yeah. People are watching you. So don't worry about if you've got one like or one follow. Keep posting, keep putting it up, keep doing your interviews, because I got 8 million engagements independently.
That's good. That's beautiful, man. You see how
So
me and Grinch are doing? We're slowly trying to pull everybody in. I got a big shout out to Decompressed Edibles, man. When you get time after the video's out, if you can go network with everybody here, they're gonna network with you back. There's a lot of good people in here. David's Goliath, shout out to bro. Big P, I
yeah, he's
see him.
fire. He's
Mr.
fire.
Grinch.
Uh, they're all fire. So
Yeah.
speaking of Mr. Grinch, you know, absolutely phenomenal talent.
My dog.
I was absolutely blown away with your guys, how you guys are in the music scene, how you guys rap. What I was blown away with that you guys, like I've spoken to Grinch and other people as well. I've got a lot of opportunities for a lot of different things, but unfortunately, some of you guys don't want to go down that path and don't want to do that, which is fine, but there's a lot of different platforms I can do, like Shade 45, This Is 50, billboards, you name it. I have all the contacts. I speak to them every day, but I don't think that that's the side that Grinch and a few other people want to go down at the moment. But the service that I have for an upcoming artist to be able to jump on the things that I have, it will blow your mind. It would put your career straight away. You would be signed, like I've explained to Grinch before. But you just need to put in that work or need to have the extra budgeting to be able to go that extra level. So that's what a lot of problem with at the moment. A lot of young artists coming up or artists that have already been in the industry, they don't like to spend extra money to get themselves up, which is hard because if I go and spend all my money to get them up, they've never done anything themselves. So that's why I don't do that. I
Yeah, no,
used
I
to
get
help a
it.
lot of artists.
I definitely get it. I go through that a lot working with artists, man, and they
They
don't
don't
want
like
to.
to
They don't
spend money.
understand what I when I say mixing and mastering. They're not understand what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't want to. I gotta have somebody leveling out. You know what I'm saying? I go that extra
Yeah,
mile. It takes me a little bit longer to get some stuff done, but my catalog's big enough to where I can do that. I got the time for that, and I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
important.
100%. What's your favorite part of performing live? Give me 3 examples and why.
When it's over, number one, when it's over, um, and I say that not just being funny, but I like when you go in the crowd and people, show you love. Like, man, I like that part of it. You know what I mean? Um, Performing live, I like having merch on hand. You know what I
That's
mean?
what
I
I
like
said.
going to a
It's what makes
venue,
money.
having a bunch of stuff laid out on the table, and people are coming to you, gravitating. Like, what do you got? I love that about performances, and You know, I don't know. I watch other people's performances and kind of evaluate where I think I am personally. You know, I
It's a
like that about it too. Self reflection.
Yeah, it's a personal touch.
Yeah,
When someone comes over and buys your merchandise and says, "Look, I love your music. This is really good. When's your next show?" It motivates an artist. If you
it
don't
feels
have any,
good.
yeah, if you don't have anything to look, music is a business. If you don't treat it like a business, then it's never going to work. It's
Yeah,
not a place. It's not a playtime thing. If you want to be a real artist, you want to be in the music industry. It's a business. There's a lot of piranhas. Then they're really hungry. If you don't want to, swim in the water before the piranhas eat you, then you're going to get eaten up. That's just how the music industry is. Fortunately, there's a lot of different things like that in the music industry. Who is one of your idols in the music industry today, and why? A few examples.
um, I'll say Trade the Truth slash Zero
Wow.
from Houston. Again, their music, they made the kind of music. It kind of touches on a couple points of our interview. They're from Houston. I was listening to their music and going through some of the same shit they were just describing in their music, and that made me feel like I had some hope. You know what I mean? So they
100%.
helped me gravitate towards making the kind of music I make. So I say Trade the Truth, Zero. Uh, Forgive me. There's a lot of people I was able to work with, and they just wasn't the people I thought they were. So
That's
I
okay.
got Mo3 was a good one. Mo3 was a really good one. Rest his soul. Um, and I'll say somebody who's still going that's current. I like Mozzie out in
Oh yeah,
Sacramento. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mossy
yeah.
Fire.
Yes, sir. They got that kind of music. Just the kind of music I like to hear. You know what I mean? In depth stuff
Yeah.
that'll give you goosebumps if you know what they talking about.
Yeah, Mossy's fire. I think Conway's the best rapper to come out of Buffalo, to be honest with you. But Mossy's definitely fire.
Mozzie's from
I like.
Sacramento.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about. Yeah, I know that. I'm not too sure if you're talking about the same Mozzie.
No,
There's a few
Mozzie, I'm talking
Mozzie.
about. He's from Sacramento. He's like a West Coast. He's like a new
Okay.
age West Coast artist. He signed to Yo Gotti.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
must be
yeah.
a different. It must be a different Mozzie that we're talking about, but that's all good. So my idols in the music industry at the moment, and have been my idols for a very long time, and I'm sure you guys know this, is Ritz. Ritz is number one hip hop
Oh
white
yeah.
rapper in the
Hey,
world.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting to show you the.
He's the number one white rapper in the world. I think the number.
I fuck with Ritz. I'm a huge fan of Ritz. I've been able to meet him at what was it, St. Andrews in Detroit. We went to go see him.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah, Ritz. I fuck with Ritz heavy, man.
Yeah, no. So on the acapella side of things, and just as a white boy growing up with all in the industry with all the rap and everything that's been happening, um, Ritz is definitely up there, and I'll tell you why. I've known his story. I've been around him for many years. I speak to him. I know the personal side of different things. And what his song he just put out, I know why all that happened. I just know him personally. I know Sexy Psycho personally. And I know a lot of the people that he works with personally. I think Yellow Wolf was very good. Mercules was very good coming up. I've also got a new one, Stack Styles is absolutely phenomenal rapper. Coming up that reminds me a little bit of Ritz as well. He's absolute fire. Check out who Stack Styles is. He's dope.
Hey, I
There's
gotta
a
say, I gotta put this out there though. I don't know. I think Muncie's the coldest white boy out there on the mic though in life. I promise. I'm saying this not as his friend, not as a person that works with him. That motherfucker Muncie. I think Muncie is one person who could go head to head with Ritz. I don't know if
wow,
you've really cracked.
Muncie, Cypher Society, Muncie.
Muncie is a. I don't know if you've heard his catalog, bro. Muncie is one of the. Bro, he could hang with Twista. He could hang with Crazy Bone. He could hang with any of the fast rappers, bro. And I'm gonna send you some links so you can see what I'm to back up my claims. But I would love to hear
He's
him and Ritz on something together.
okay. I definitely
Yeah,
Muncie, as in the Cypher Society Group
yeah,
CEO guy.
Young Muncie. That motherfucker is so cold, bro.
Wow. Okay.
He,
I'll definitely be interested in that. So,
yeah.
how do you stay motiv? How do you stay motivated and inspired in the music industry today? And a few examples how.
Oh man. Well, one thing, as you can tell, my music reflects it. I'm always going through some shit, so that's why I always put that type shit in my music because it's easy.
Let's
It's
go.
always new content. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, I feel like I was running low on battery until I met the Cypher Society.
Yeah. No.
You know what I
I
mean?
know.
So being in that
Yeah.
network
I've seen
has
that.
really boosted me.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
can
that
see that.
I had to show them I have bars. I don't just be rapping about sad shit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. But as I said, big shout out to Cypher Society guys. Anyone that listens to rap, hip hop, real hip hop and bars,
Yeah,
Cypher Society is the best cipher group in the world. I don't need to say it again. More
yeah.
importantly, what is your best performance of your career? Where was it and why? Let's talk about that. And how did that come about?
Best performance of my career, man. I don't even think I could really say that, man, because I performed so much in my life. I mean, like I said, when I was first jumped off the porch with Grinch and them, man, I was literally performing damn near 6 days a week, everywhere, every city around from all over Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. So I can't really say a specific one, but I'll say one of my favorite performances. It was a legendary night in Pontiac, man. It was actually it didn't really have no headlines as far as like no famous artists, but it was the time my city showed out. Every side of town of my city went crazy, and we lost a legend not very long after that, man. R.I.P. to Cut Keys. But the whole city was in the building. It was a magnificent night, man. You could feel it.
Nice. So then that's what I mean. So you'd know that your best performance was, you'd feel that what your best performance was. So that's good, man. Before we go on to your music, but we're going to go into your music section, which talks about a lot of your music. But before we do that, um, I feel that this needs to be mentioned. There's a lot of wish-wash artists. There's a lot of artists that not really supposed to be artists. What I call them is, you know, as I said, everybody has their own lane in the industry. So I don't want to disrespect different artists, but there's a lot. There's only about 30% of hip hop that I listen to. The other 70% is all rubbish for me. So I just thought I'd mention that. So if you're in that 30% in out of 100%, then you definitely be doing something right. So 70% of those people I don't speak to or listen to, and that's a lot of the new generation. That's a lot of these garbage rappers that I won't even listen to and things like that. So I just thought
Yeah,
I'd mention that if there's only 30% that I listen to in the world. So you guys are that 30%, man. So big shout out to you for that. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about your music. I'm going to go back to as far back as Redemption, On Point, Pastor Troy. That's going back a fair few years now. That was absolute fire, that Redemption track that you did. I know Pastor Troy. I know all his history and things like that. That's a big artist back then to be able to do a collab with, man. So big shout out to you for that.
yeah,
That was called Redemption. Do you want to say anything about that?
yeah, man. Pastor Troy was one of my favorites growing up. His earlier stuff
Yeah,
was more of my favorite stuff, but just him, he's another artist too, independently, man. Like he can
yeah,
do whatever he's gonna do. He has enough fan base. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He doesn't have to sign. He doesn't have to
yeah,
be on the label. He doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do that. His name and how a lot of those artists who are signed back in the days, they their contract lapsed or whatever, and they use the fan base they gained from the label to go independent.
yeah,
Genius. And that's pretty much the formula I'm doing. I'm building my catalog with quality.
yeah.
Now we got content. All I need is really one viral moment and traffic it right. And then I should be good. They're gonna back see all my catalog, man.
Yeah, that's correct. So just so why everybody's listening, or so everybody knows, it's very important to have a catalog, an EPK in your terminology, in our terminology, a bio. It's very important to have all these things because when someone looks at you and you don't have that, you could be the best rapper in the world, they won't touch you.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a very 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 thing a very big thing that I needed to mention before we move any further. Um,
Absolutely.
More importantly, man, I was blown away with End Games Reloaded, featuring yourself, OG Tech, Find M. I think it was Mr. Swerve and also Rico Red. Big shout out to you guys for that song. That was absolute fire. It was done just under 10 months ago.
Yeah,
It's called
Fiend,
End
Fiend, Fiend. It's Fiend and Mr. Servon. They're both artists from No Limit Records.
Fiend. There you go, Fiend. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
absolute fire. Wow.
yeah,
Great.
yeah. They're from No Limit, man. They're again. I grew up in the era where No Limit and Cash Money was really big, and they were some of my favorites on No Limit, and they're good people too. Easy to reach out to, fair with working with artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man. The absolute fire. Um, Also, I want to talk a little bit about Living Large, featuring La Chat and also Oz 100 and OG Tech and Red Boss again. It was only
Yeah,
done a couple of weeks ago. That was absolute fire as well, called Living Large. That was absolute dope. Everything that you've done about that, the beats, bars, delivery, who was on it, the artwork, all of that, man. Very important. Just speaking about that, very important if you're bringing out a track to have the proper artwork, not something from photocopied or from your phone. Very, very important to have
yeah.
proper artwork, proper visual. Otherwise, don't put the song out. It's not worth
Yes,
it.
sir. Big shout out to let me give a little couple facts about that. Living Large, OZ100, that's our engineer at the Cypher Society. So he does the engineering and putting everything together as far as the track. So big shout out to him. Another one of those phenomenal artists. I would have to go to the Whiteboy conversation again. I would say him and Muncie literally are two of the best to me personally, and I'm just saying this being honest. To me, they're two of the best artists I've ever met. Period. They're really
Wow.
dope. So he's dope. I had to have him on there. OG Tech is my dude. He's from Durham. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He lives in Durham, North Carolina. I shot my trauma video there. But he's originally from Augusta, Georgia. He's a legend. He's done a lot of stuff. He actually did a song that's really big with Gangsta Pat back in the day and stuff. So big shout out to him. Red Boss is
Nice.
from Memphis. He's a legend. And LaChat was from 3 6 Mafia. She's a legend too. So
Yeah.
shout out to Billion Beats on that production too.
Nice. Also, want a big shout out and a massive shout out. Like, this guy's just crazy energy, man. Just blows my mind. I have to big shout out to Johnny Germani, man. Just the way that his spirit, his energy, his motion, just the way he wants to bring how he feels and how he thinks out to the world, how he makes it a very loud sort of speech, sort of rap. Blew me
Yeah.
away, man. PK Fire, the diss track with Beard Music, On Point, Ziggy, and yourself.
Yeah.
It blew me away. Like, some people don't like it only because he's screaming a lot. I'll be honest. I'll say that from now. But that's his style. That's who Johnny Germani is. That's his style. So I have had people say to me the screaming and that they don't not really feeling it. But and then I've had other people say to me it's really good. So, but to do a diss
What I
track,
like about him, he'll tell you he don't give a fuck. Like
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah, I know.
likes that. He capitalize. He one thing about him, he
I know.
don't let nothing get him down. He'll capitalize on that. I don't know if you've seen the music video to that too. You gotta check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's fire, man. Like, I tell you what, like for diss tracks and things like that, his energy,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
his energy, is up there with Big P. When she gets going, same kind of energy. So
yeah,
that's what attracted me about Johnny Germani, his energy. He's
yeah.
a bit
Beard
like
music too, man. Beard music and Ziggy Moon, man. They all. I'm telling you, bro. Like it's hard to brag on one person on the track because they're all
yeah, no, of
amazing.
course,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
no, no,
So
I'm gonna,
I got to get a little in depth, but dog, them dudes are so dope. Johnny's so dope too. Like if you even the people who don't like the screaming type shit, if you get past that and you can listen to what he's saying, dude is
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
super.
saying.
He's
Yeah.
super lyrical for real.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to explain. If you
Yeah.
can get past, if you can get past it, you know what he reminds me of the energy a little bit? Chris Calico's energy. You
I
know when he
thought you were
gets
gonna
out on
say
stage.
Stitches.
No, no. Chris Calico's energy when he gets up on stage and he's got a lot of energy when he
Oh
was used to
yeah,
doing.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
one of the
he's
best.
like,
He's one of the better performers for sure. He's an amazing and he'll get on the drums. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
and he's
He's
and
an
he's a
amazing
gospel singer.
artist,
He's a
bro.
church gospel. He's a gospel church singer as well. Just so you know.
Yeah.
So but that's what Johnny Germani reminds me of. But I will touch base on the other artists soon. I haven't forgotten them. I just wanted to mention that because that was the track I was listening to, PK Fire. I've
Mm.
actually put it on my wall, and I got a few different comments. So that's why I thought I'd share that so you guys would know internationally what comments they were about that song. But definitely brings the fire for a diss track and things that he does. Johnny Germani's fire, absolute fire. I was blown away, man. Beard music, like you said, Ziggy, they're all good, man. But I will mention a few other different things a bit later on.
Yeah.
More about your music. So basically, let's talk about On Point. I checked out all your Cipher verses on the Cipher Society. Again, Cipher Society group is the best in the world. Go and check out On Point Cipher verses on Cipher Society. It is absolutely phenomenal. His talent and just where he's come from and just what he's doing. Big shout out to Cypher Society for giving him a bit of a boost. As he said, it was getting a bit repetitious. He needed something to keep pushing his rap career. So big shout out to Cypher Society for
Big
for
shout
helping
out.
him up there and giving him what he needs there. Massive, massive shout out to you guys for that. I've seen all the Cypher verses, man. They're absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
As I said, one of the best in the world, man. There's a lot of people that used to do a lot of ciphers and battle raps that I know. Cypher Society is the best in the world. I don't need to say it again. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit now about the new track that you did with Big P called Pioneer. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, 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 sis. That's my sis.
I thought that was dope. Like she's dope. Like when
She's
she
super
gets
dope.
going, when she gets going, and she's not in a upset mode or depressed, she's dope.
Yeah, she's dope, man. I'm glad she did something like that too, because that was a little different from anything I've heard from her. So I was
Yeah,
honored to be able to get on that because I wanted to work with her. And it
yeah,
was
she's
effortless. It was effortless. We put that together. We actually recorded that probably like the beginning of the year, maybe even the end of last year. But yeah, Big P is she got that voice too.
yeah,
She
yeah,
got
she's
that
dope,
voice
man.
too, man. She remind me of like Gangsta Boo LaChat back in the days, like
Wow.
fierce, fierce. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
R.I.P. Gangsta
Um,
Boo.
she brings the energy. She like I said, she's like the energy like Johnny Germani. She brings the energy, but she has bars, and for a female MC, they're very important in the industry. Like I've said before, and she's definitely up there. If she keeps going, she
Rinse with that fake
for
shit,
her
bro.
for her talent, she's absolute fire. Absolutely fire. I can't wait to hear a lot of other stuff. Just so everybody knows, I do have the Grinch and Big P with Little Wayne on the new album, so I can't wait to hear that. We're actually in the background doing that work.
That's gonna be
Um,
hard.
That'd be dope. So big shout out to Big P and the Grinch and everything they're doing for me on the back scenes with the Little Wayne track and a few other things we've got going on as well. Also, in the music side of things, we have over 20 different stars on a double back album with a lot of the Pontiac greats with me on a lot of different features. So, guys, big shout out for everything that we've been working on in the background. Can't wait for the world to see it. We have been working a while patiently in the background every single day on these tracks and albums and different things to pop out. You will be surprised of this double album and what it consists of. So big shout out, guys, and thank you for your patience and everything that we're doing to work on those songs. A big shout out. All right, so now here comes the crunch. Now I don't know if you guys know or not, but a very very big shout out and a lot of different respect when you hear this album. It's one of his most favorite albums that he's ever created, and it's called PTSD. Now, let me talk about it first. It's one of his personal projects, and it talks about about how he grew up, about what happened in his life, and about where he's going and things like that. But it talks about darkness, it talks about pain, anxiety, a lot of different things in this album. I was blown away of PTSD, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It has 11 songs on it. I have top five songs off that album, just so you know. I'm going to share them with you in a minute. But let's just talk about where did that come from, man? That PTSD. Big shout out to your wife also for putting that up on the wall, making that a memorabilia for you, because that definitely deserves that. That was absolute fire album. Before we go into it, how did that come about?
Ah, man, PTSD again. It just always goes back to I've been through a lot of crazy shit in my life. I was actually literally diagnosed with PTSD. Um, More in particularly after, if you've listened to the album, you're kind of familiar with what I'm talking about. After when my mom died, I went through a lot of stuff, which
You're sorry
forced
to
me
hear
to
that,
go
man.
through some legal issues, which forced me to have to go through counseling, anger management, and all this, get on medicine and stuff like that. So PTSD is real. And
100%.
what it was, if you pay attention to the track list, it's really symptoms. They're all symptoms of PTSD. And one thing that we don't really talk about in the urban Black community is about mental health. You know, seeing murder, seeing people dying, going to prison, in and out, institutionalization, poverty,
Very
crime
important.
and stuff like that. That plays a toll on us, and we don't talk about it. In the music,
Yeah.
we just talk about the hard shit, trapping, making money, and bitches and stuff like that. And I wanted to
Yeah, I
offer
know.
another side. I wanted to offer the mental side of it and what I went
Yeah.
through. Um, so, like I said, there's actually a bonus track on there too, called Minds, which I had to release it separately for a reason. But I wrote
Okay.
it when my daughter was born. She had to have open heart surgery a week after she was born.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And I wrote that song while I was waiting on her to get her surgery. So, yeah, the album was a track list of all symptoms. You
Okay.
know what I
So
mean?
let's
Cold sweats, anxious. Darkness was talking about resentment, and you know what I mean? My intro is called Introvert. Pain was just kind of an introduction. What up, Dan? What up,
okay. So
Pizu?
my top five songs out of that album. Number one was Pain. Big shout out to Matty P. Big shout
Yeah,
out.
that's my brother, actually.
Wow, there you go. So big shout out to Matty P, man. He sounded absolutely fire with you on that track, man. Big shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
Man, I don't know why this guy keeps popping up, but whatever you've done with this guy, he's absolutely dope. His name's Fire, and it
That's
was
my
in the
brother too.
darkness,
Maddie
and
P
it
and
was in.
Fire are twins. Yeah,
Okay, there
they're
you
my
go.
brothers. Yep.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, Fire was a part of Snap Mode Click too.
Wow,
Yeah,
absolute dope, man. Like the track "Darkness" was absolute fire.
thank
Just
you.
what was said in that track, and things like that. It's absolute fire. That was my second best. My third best was "Out of Control." That was absolutely dope. That was just things happening in your life and stuff like that. As I said, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out PTSD On Points. Absolutely phenomenal album. It's all about, as I said, his stages in what was happening with him growing up and things like that. It's
Yeah,
absolute fire, man.
Out of Control was so dope because Out of Control was more of a hype, maybe like a hypothetical or a optional. If I would have let everything get to me, that would have been the outcome of PTSD in a bad way. So like I did it in a horrorcore fashion. That was me about to snap. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like the whole album, bro, I put a lot of thought into that. So it's dope. Uh
I,
how
I want to say something, and this is what I do in my personal life, right? This is what I do in life. Doesn't matter if it's music, doesn't matter what it is. This is what I do. So if you're having a bad day, write off the day and make your next day a different day. Don't keep thinking about that last day all week or for the next few weeks or all year and make your year a depressing year. The reason I say that is every day is a different day to do something, to get out there or to be able to achieve something. Every
Yeah.
day is a different day. Don't listen to the haters and all those people and things like that. The more that you push yourself, the more that you believe in yourself, the more those haters become your followers. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
So So the best advice that I can give, if you're having a bad day, knock it off and start again tomorrow. If you're having a bad week, then let that week go and start a new week. Never quit, because if you quit, people see that they don't come back from that.
Oh, that's one thing you'll never see from me, and I don't mean to, no disrespect to nobody else, but one thing you'll never see me do, and you've never seen me do, anybody who's known me, I get frustrated. I don't get online and talk about I quit doing music because I'm mad.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I
I've
don't
seen a
do
few people.
music.
Yeah,
If
that's
I
a
only
bad
got
look.
one person listening, that'll
That's a
be
bad
me.
look.
And
That's a
I'm
bad
not
look.
gonna do that. I have my moments where I get frustrated with people and shit, but you'll never see me talking about some I quit
Yeah, you
music.
won't see me.
I just don't.
If you noticed, I don't do that either. You know why? Because it's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
If you go online and you complain about your personal problems, or complain about this and complain about that, you go into all the stuff that I've done. Even if you look at my stuff 365 days a year, you'll never get through half of my stuff, half of my catalog. But even
Is that
if you
my
do,
sister?
even if you do, you'll never see me put down anyone. You'll never see me say a bad name about anyone, and you'll never see me put my personal problems online ever, because it's a bad look.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have my posts, but I just know for me personally, you'll never see me get on here like, I quit music. I
Yeah,
never
yeah,
do.
no, no,
I don't give a
it's a
fuck.
bad look, man.
Because at
It'll
the end
come
of the
back.
day, I already made a pact with myself. I'm making music for me. Period.
It'll come back to bite you. So, but yeah, never do that. So, more importantly, the next track that I liked was Anxious. Absolute fire, man. That was had a lot of emotions in it. Had a lot of different meanings and stuff like that. I actually really liked that track, man. Absolute fire.
It
And
means
the
a lot.
last
Thank
one,
you.
was Cold Sweats. I can imagine what was going on in there, and what was happening there, man. So big shout out to you for that. Um, Also, just want to touch base, guys. The guy that I'm speaking to at the moment, on point, just so you guys know, have some kind of any idea, because there's a lot of all different people that jump on and listen and look. This guy has worked with Crazy Bone, Project Pat, OG Tech, Pastor Troy, T Rock, which is one of the
I got a whole
greats there.
album with T Rock.
MC Mac, which has been talking to me on and off for a while now. MC Mac's absolutely phenomenal. He's doing his thing again. He's up there working his thing,
Yeah, he's a
which you did.
legend though. He's one of the people, I got multiple tracks with him, and when I was in Memphis I was with him. You know what I mean? He good people, and he's a grinder, man, and a legend for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he reached out. He reached out to me a few times. I've spoken to him a few times now. So big shout out to MC Mac, man. Also, you've worked with LA Chat. You've worked with
All the chat, yeah. Yep, yep.
Chris Calico, Stevie Stone, Exhibit. You've done a new track with the game, and you've got many, many more different features and different things that you've been doing, man. So,
Yes, sir.
big shout out. You haven't had a lot of different opportunities that have gone your way, as that have shouted you your way as well with the team. So there's a lot of different opportunities and different big things that we're doing as well, man. So big shout out. But that's just a little bit, that's just a little teaser, guys, of actually what he's done, who he's done music with. So big shout out to you for that, on point, man. Absolute fire, man. Big shout out for that.
Appreciate you,
Um,
dog. Appreciate you, man. We got
so
some crazy
now,
shit coming, bro. We do. We
oh,
got some crazy stuff. We putting the final touches on it, bro. But watch, you gonna love this shit.
all I can say is, like I said to the Grinch as well, all I can say is, we get that artwork right, we get the visual right, we have the talent. That's what we
Yeah,
need, right?
it's there.
That's
It's
yeah.
coming, man. We got one locked and loaded. We're just waiting on one element touch up. Right. We talked about it though. The presentation is gonna be what it needs to be.
Yeah, that because it can be the best. Like that's something that I have learned as well in the industry, that you could be the best artist, but if it doesn't pop off or look crisp, then people don't. It's not. They're not. It doesn't interest them. So if we
Exactly.
have the right visual, the right artwork, we have the talent, the best in the world talent. That's all we need to do is the right visual and artwork. Guaranteed we'll hit the doors we need to hit with what we're doing. We've been doing this for a while in the background. the world is going to see Whiteboy Productions Sydney the Goat and the Pontiac Greats and all the big features we've got on a double back album and all the different things that we're doing. International exposure is
Exactly.
going to be absolutely crazy, man. So big shout out and a big round of applause for everything that you guys are doing with me, man. Big shout out. All
Yeah, I'm
right, so
excited, man.
let's.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I love it. So let's talk about the most recent album that you've actually done. It's called Aiming for Greatness. It was done 10 days ago. It's called Aiming for Greatness Reloaded. It has 13 tracks on it. I'll give you my top 5 of those tracks. But before I do, how did all this come about? And let's talk about a little bit about the album first.
Aiming for Greatness Reloaded is a continuation partially of PTSD. It was a follow up. There were some tracks that I wasn't able to get some clearances, a couple other business things that I wasn't able. When I set a deadline for an album, I set a deadline and it's got to come out. So it was a continuation of that. And also, I put out a mixtape, 2009, long time ago, though. Low budget. It wasn't. And it got a way better reaction in the neighborhood than I was expecting. But it was called Aiming for Greatness, and I have people still from years ago like, bro, when you gonna do something else for Aiming for Greatness? You know what I mean? So I wanted to put something with that title to represent me that was high quality.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of
nice.
stuff like my song "Awake," which has a Rodacious on it. He's a legend from my city, man. We actually recorded that song probably like 2012. I still decided to get it mixed mastered and put it out, kind of just showing my growth. And yeah,
Nice.
man, I just wanted to put another high quality album out.
All right, so let's talk about it. So it has 13 tracks on it. And my top 5 of these tracks out of the 13 are. So let's talk about it. I have to say my first one, and a big shout out to, again, Fire. Defiant was my favorite track on that album.
Cool. Cool.
So that was one of my favorites. The second one was Flashbacks with featuring C Mob, which we spoke about earlier. Very big artist there. No Limit, like you said. Flashbacks is absolutely phenomenal track. That was fire, man. That was really good. That was my
Thank
number
you.
two. Number 2 for me. Number 3 was Endgames Reloaded.
Yeah, appreciate that,
Fire.
man.
Really good, man. Just absolute fire. I don't know what IDK means. Whether that means I don't know, I'm not too sure.
IDK means I don't know.
Oh, there you go. So that was my number 4 track. I thought that was really good too, man. And last but not least, with your brother again, Matty P. Big shout out to your brother with Pain.
Yeah, Pain 2.0, man. Yeah, I wanted to re-deliver that. You know what I'm saying, in a more emotional way. You know,
Yeah, that
it's a remix to Pain that was on PTSD. Here
that was
goes
it.
actually. Look, this this old as hell. This is my mixtape, Aiming for Greatness, right there.
Nice. You
Damn.
know, I just want to. Before we do wrap it up, I just want to say some of the services and stuff. And again, I appreciate your patience and your time. I know
Oh
it's
yeah.
probably about 11 o'clock there now,
Oh, we
probably in New
cool. We
York
cooling,
there.
bro. We locked in. We cooling.
So I appreciate that. But I just want to go through a little bit as an basically what as an artist, what are artists looking for these days, is career wise and things like that, which I spoke about earlier. Would be more international shows, getting more music done and out there. There's a lot of artists that have a lot of things. Oh, I've got all these songs that are just sitting there and doing nothing. Well, guess what? If they're any good, put them out. Put a bit of a budget on it and put them out. Don't leave them sitting in the locked drawer there and nobody listen to them,
And that's what
because that's
Aiming
what
for
it.
Greatness Reloaded is. A large portion of that is like Defiant. I recorded that. That was actually a song for an artist named Down Pat, who I got a lot of work with. He's from Orlando, Florida. Super talented
Okay,
dude. We were doing an
nice.
EP together, and he went through some stuff, so we kind of stopped doing music. And I re-put, you know what I'm saying? He didn't put his verse on there, but I put my verse, the hook. You know what I'm saying? I had it redefined with my engineer. So
Okay.
yeah, you got to put that shit out, and I've gotten the most feedback from that song of everything on the album.
See what I mean? Like the reason I say that is there's a lot of artists saying that, oh, I've got this and that, but they never put it out. But then when they finally put it out, they go, oh, I should have put out that 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So that's why I bring that up. And also on top of that, international exposure, international shows is very important, especially if you want to make it as a not a hobby or a 9 to 5 job. You want it as a career. These are the definite a must that you must do is definitely international shows, merchandise, jumping online once a week or twice a week, getting people to see you on live publicly, a little bit about your life, a little bit of background and things like that. You definitely have to do that. You definitely have to be consistent, and you definitely have to be persistent. Not just here today and gone tomorrow, or one here and then next year I'll make something. It doesn't happen like that. People fall off. They don't have the patience anymore. And certainly they don't have, like if I went out to put a double album out now, no one would listen to the full double album. You've got to
I
have
know,
shortcuts
man. I
or
know,
small
right?
eps. You know what I mean? You've got to have little stages. It doesn't matter if I've got the best artists on that album. They'll listen to what they want to listen to, and that's it. So that's why you got to do a bit of short spurts here and there and that, because people are very impatient these days. They like to see it on the spot.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. But it's got to be like that. But anyway, what I wanted to say was what I've done recently, how I worked. I started my Whiteboy Production Sydney the Goat back when the COVID started. Just before the COVID started, I decided to make my hip hop channel and my hip hop history come alive. It was one of my dreams because I was been with the rap and hip hop scene since the NWA days,
Yeah.
and all the big players and different people that probably don't hear about a lot of the music back in the day, but I was with them all. So that's when I decided to bring that out, and ever since I did that, I've got 10 merchandise lines in the world, which were sold out. I've got music on all different platforms under Whiteboy Productions, Sydney the Goat. I've got over 8 million engagements strong independently. I've been on all the radio, TV stations and all the different things worldwide as well, all over the world. I've reached out to Africa and China as well and been live with them as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's a big one.
I've done yeah, I've got a few albums out. I've worked with over 600 artists in the world, independently, like I'm doing with you guys, independently, not just a like or follow on TikTok, actually engagements, interviews, and talking with people. Over 600 artists in the world. So that's what my category is at the moment. I've also worked with big TV shows and things like that. There's a lot of different things that I've got going on. I put people up on pedestals. As I said, I've got Shade 45, This Is 50, iTunes plugs, radio shows, live TVs, billboards. If you've got the budget and you really want to work on your craft and you really want to get that for an artist, then that's what I do. White Paper Production Sydney the Goat. I put you in the right direction and I uplift you. So
Amen.
that's what I'm all about. Is uplifting the artist, getting the artist seen, so they can go further. You know how many people have told me that they were going to quit, or they didn't want to finish their music, or they didn't want to be in music anymore. But
I
when
could
they met me,
imagine.
and when
I could
yeah,
imagine because I've gotten it a lot too.
yeah.
I don't
So
like
now
that type
they're
of energy personally.
huh.
I said I personally don't like that type of energy.
Mm.
You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, but there's a lot of different there's a lot of different things that I've helped artists do and things like that. And as you know, I do it out of this is all my own personal. I pay my own personal. I do my own things personally. I
It's
don't
all
ask
off the
one
muscle.
person.
That's what we say out here. It's all off the muscle, off the mud.
Yeah, I never ask a person for 1 cent. But I tell you this: when they've seen what I've done, or they've seen the artists I've worked with, and that they want to get involved. But when the moment you ask someone for a cent, or you say this is going to cost you this and that, you never hear from them again. This is a lot of what the artists are
Yeah.
like these days.
Woo.
That's
Trust me, I
that's not
know that.
that's not an artist. An artist would have a budget. An artist would be saying, "Oh, White Boy Productions, Sydney, look, international exposure. I can go on Shade 45. I can do this and that. Wow, I better get my act together and get a budget and be a real artist." That's the people that I deal with, not people that, I don't want to spend this and that. And it happens in 70% of the industry. They want you to do everything for them for free.
Trust me, I know. I know. That's why I move the way I move. I'm telling you.
It's crazy. Like, okay, fair enough if you do someone a favor or you jump on this to help them out or do this and this. But everything, like, that's just crazy, like
Nah, I always try
nuts.
to find a way I could spend some money. If somebody's doing me a favor, I just think about this shit different, man. If somebody's doing something that's gonna help me, how scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's that simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So in the next 6 months, what do you so basically between now and the next 12 months, if for your music stuff, where do you see yourself at, and why? What's happening?
Oh man, the next 6 months, I'm not sure how many or who exactly who's coming first, but it's gonna be multiple people signed from the Cipher Society. I know that.
Oh, I
Um,
can see that. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
People are going to be signed. I think a lot of our situations are going to be really good because we're building networks. You're part of it. We got good exposure. We got good platforms, good content, good quality, good people. I really feel like things are aligning. So I'm not sure
Do you
exactly what everything's going to look like, but I think it's going to be a full circle with everybody involved. And
do you do you feel if I
I think in the next year we might be out there with you.
100%? Oh man, that'd be great. So like a
I think
cipher
in the
group
next year
in.
we'll be able to afford to come out there with you.
Do you think
Honestly.
Muncie? Do you think Muncie would be interested in speaking to me about the opportunities that I just raised, plus an international trip?
You Muncie? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's there's a lot of us. I can't really speak. There's some of us that have backgrounds that won't allow us to go to other
Yeah,
countries.
yeah, I know that. Yeah,
Um,
I know. I go
I
through
don't
that.
think
Yeah, yeah.
nothing's unrealistic though. We could talk. It's all worth talking about.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But I know what you mean. Like, it just depends on like if you've got backgrounds that Australia doesn't let in, or vice versa,
Oh
or
yeah, because
whatever.
some of us live what we talk rap about.
Yeah, no,
You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I know, I get it. There's a lot
We
of
gonna
rappers
have
that
some shit though. We gonna work some stuff out. I've learned to use my resources wisely with the international stuff. We'll be able to put some stuff together for sure though.
Nice. There's a lot of rappers that I speak with that have been incarcerated all the way, that can't come to Australia, or that can't do shows and stuff, that would love to come, but have just done different things in their life, and then Australia doesn't let people that have been incarcerated. It depends on the time and what the offence was, but
Yeah,
it's very hard, man. If you've been incarcerated and stuff, like, depends on how long ago and what the offence was.
Griggs will probably be the first one. Griggs got his passport already.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, yeah, just to wrap it all up, and like think different things that I said, and like what I've done and what you guys have done, guys. If you haven't already, go and check out the Cipher Society. They're the best in the world. Like I said, I can't say it any more than that, clearer than that. And I explained why. If you like your Cipher and your battle raps and things like that, there is no other group in the world that is going to beat Cipher Society. I promise you that. I'm all the way from Sydney, Australia, and I've said it many times. I've put it up many times.
Yes, sir.
Go and check out real hip hop. Um, just quickly before we touch base on a few other different things. Have you been seeing many of the rappers from Boston, like Millies and Albiel and all of that? What do you think of them?
You know what? I'm as far as rap scene, Boston is probably I haven't been really invested in it. I've heard great things. OZ 100 is one of them who's always spoken on him very highly.
Yep.
Says he's the truth. I just never taken the time to listen to him because I'm always stuck in a weird bubble because I don't like my music to be influenced by others. That
Yeah,
happens when
yeah.
you're a
I hear
songwriter.
that a lot.
If you listen to too much of other people, with subconsciously you might write some stuff that's familiar. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
try
yeah.
not to do that, so I keep my bubble real small. But I've heard good things
100%.
about him.
We'll see, because of what I do. You already know this. I speak to many big stars and many different celebrities. As I said, over 600 different stars and celebrities in person, which gives me a lot of opportunity to help artists and a lot of different other things as well. And what I have seen, there's a lot of street rap. Now, no disrespect to street rap, I get it, but it needs to mix itself up. It needs to be a bit more versatile. It needs to have a little bit of a mixture, not just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
where the uniqueness has to come into place. And I'm not disrespecting any artists or anything, but a lot of the new artists that have been around a long time, big artists that have come back and done an album, absolutely disappointing, rushed, nothing like that artist used to be, and I'm seeing it a lot. I'm not going to name the artists, but I'm seeing it a lot. It's too repetitive, and it's just the same. There's no uniqueness, and it's really disappointing because these are big artists that I've grown up with for many, many years. Disappointing.
Man, hey, one thing I tell you about I've learned from this music game, bro. I've had my heart broken. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And I don't want to get into again who, what, where. I've worked with a lot of people that I looked up to growing up. Made some great
yeah,
music with them. You get to know
yeah,
the people behind the music, and you learn that they're not those people. That's why I say integrity is a lot.
yeah,
Integrity is
yeah. No, 100%.
amazing. You know what I mean? To be the actual person you're saying behind your music is everything to me.
Yeah, well, that's why I mentioned what I mentioned. Like, if you listen to your PTSD album and you listen to your music properly, it's actually got meaning, bars, delivery, and a story. Where a lot of these rappers, like I said, 70% I don't even listen to. That, I don't care if you called Little Baby, you called this, you called that. No, no good to me. Like, it's not for me. As I said, no, everybody's different, but
Yeah,
they're just not for me. But I will say this for the new generation, for the new era, for somebody that's bringing beats, bars, message, and delivery, and that is being
you
consistent.
do.
Well, Pizza is absolutely phenomenal artist as well.
Man,
Like,
that's a legend right there, man.
let's just mention
I love that
Pizza
dude, man.
Pizza's fire. So he's going to be jumping on a few tracks for me as well for the album as well when he gets a chance. So big shout out to Pizza as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you something too. I gotta
But
send you something
but
off
I
the muscle that for you. You know what I mean? Something we put together, mixed mastered, and you can do what
nice.
you want with it.
But I will say this. I will say this. The more you engage with people, the more you go on live, the more that you go online, the more that you interact with people, the more people see you. It's not so much about making the music as well. You have to be consistent, at least once or twice a week, live, online, speaking to people, interacting
Got
with
to, bro.
people.
Got to.
But not,
That
no, no,
these
no, not
lives are something I've been lacking on, man.
but not
Again,
many people are doing it because maybe they don't have time or they're busy with their family or they've got a lot of
some
kids
people
or they're
just
not.
ain't camera friendly. Like people tell me I do my thing, but I don't like being on camera. I came
Yeah,
up
but
from
you
an
have
era
to.
where cameras wasn't around like that. You know what I'm saying?
I
So doing all this
I know.
camera should be a little extra, but I do see the importance. But that's why I take my video quality serious because I didn't have a lot of videos coming up. You know what I'm saying? When we was coming up, videos was expensive as fuck. People
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
doing it.
100%.
Now I got the good quality, and I like to hold on to that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
100%, man.
but I got an idea too with some of them ventures you were saying. We'll talk about this behind the scenes, me and you, but with some of them
No worries.
opportunities you offer, some a way
Yeah,
we can all we'll talk about it. I got an idea basically,
yeah, 100%. Well, you've got a lot of people in the Cypher Society. If they want to
but I
step
mean
up,
strength in numbers. If we put something together and put some money behind it, we can make some moves.
yeah, 100%. Again, it's a matter of what people want. If they want it or they don't want it, it's that
Well, I think
simple.
it's only fair to try to invest in you too, the way you've
Of
invested
course.
in some of us, together and together and collectively and independently.
Speaking about investing, I appreciate you guys all signing the shirt and sending it to me. Much appreciated, man.
Yeah.
Muncie got back to me on email, and
Oh,
he told
Dad,
me it's
cool.
on. And he told me it's on the way. He gave me the tracking number, and he said that for waiting for the being patient and I put something there for me extra, and so I appreciate it, guys. And you know me, I'll represent the shirt. I represent Cypher Society every day, so I don't need a shirt to do that. But the shirt brings the meaning, like a merchandise shows people, hey, this is who they are. So that's when I get my merchandise from Ty Thomas, as I said, Fat Man's Coop. He's what he's doing for me printing there. Once he gets all the merchandise and masks and all that stuff, I
I'm gonna
think that
holler
would
at
be
him
good.
too. I'm gonna pull up on him too. I know him personally, so I'm gonna pull up on him and he does my one of my cousins' God's Child brand as well, and he's
Nice.
done. Man, yeah, that shit's gonna be nice, man. I'm gonna go make sure I go grab some shit from him, and I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah. So
encourage the team even to have a cipher where a lot of us have the White Boy Productions. I got some shit in the works for us, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So I asked him. He's going to do it for me. So I'm working out with him in the background now. What's the best thing to do? Move forward. He's going to do some masks and that for me as well. He was blown away with a lot of the stuff I did. He does music himself. You know, he's an
Yeah, I'm
artist.
trying. Yeah, I've known bro for a long time. Again, he's one
So
of the few people too, man. He goes back a lot further than a lot of these rappers from Pontiac.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
he
he's
got
really
more
he's
into
a,
the apparel game and stuff. Me, my wife, because you know my wife does clothing as well. We did some
nice.
stuff together, man. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, bro. I'm linked in with the city. He's linked in.
Yeah, so because he does see a bit like he was explaining to me, he does a lot of different music before in the background, and now he does a lot of merchandise and stuff
Yeah,
because it's where the money's at and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, he's big man. He does different things for all different people for merchandise and
Yes, he
things like
does.
that. So I'm very happy that I was put forward with him. So big shout out to the Grinch for putting me forward with him, man. Big shout out. He was the one that I said, look, is there anyone that you know? And he gave me his contact, man. So big shout out again to the
Listen,
Mr.
bro,
Grinch.
I'm gonna be 100 with you. When it comes to Pontiac, Michigan, if it's not me, Grinch, if it's not one of the people you know right now from Pontiac, if they're not referring, don't go with it. We gonna plug you to
Yeah,
the right people. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Because we're
yeah, yeah.
OGs with it. We know
Yeah,
everybody, but we coming from a standpoint of integrity. Again, he's gonna do good business with you.
yeah, no, 100%. Oh,
You know
no,
what I
that's
mean?
awesome. We'll keep it. Well, as I
But
said, we'll
that's
keep it going up.
trustworthy because you know what I'm saying. You all the way over there, and I'm glad you settled with somebody that's a good person, man.
Yeah, it took
Tag
me a
Fat
while to
Man,
find.
bro. Grinch,
It took
tag
me a
Fat
while.
Man, bro.
It took me a while to find a merchandise person that can do it in America. So a big shout out to him for that, man. I can't wait to see his product this week. I think that we're getting that done. So that's good news. So can't wait to see all that. He likes the design of my new masks, and he also loves the merch that I've got going on. He absolutely blown away, man. He's like, that's fire, bro. That's dope. So
He'd
man,
be a good
a
one
big
to
shout.
interview too, man.
Yeah,
He,
so big shout out to him and the music and different stuff that he's been doing and stuff. So I'll definitely get in the background with him and have a bit of a chat to him as well. But it has been a long interview. As you said, you don't like the cameras and don't do many interviews and things like that. So I do appreciate you coming on
well, I
tonight.
do. I mean,
Uh,
I've done a lot of interviews. My schedule is so crazy. I have to schedule shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't. As you know,
yeah,
man,
no,
my
of course.
phone, I have to turn my shit silent because if I don't, I
Yeah,
will
I
have
know.
no
You
peace.
never get back to me
I got
on the
motherfuckers from
messages.
Germany hit me up at this time. Motherfuckers from the Netherlands, Africa, for real. Like I could show you the receipts. It like just good people, different times. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah, no, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like when I message you on Messenger, sometimes it takes you a while to get back to me. Sometimes you put it on silent, you don't hear it, or things
are
like
you on
that.
WhatsApp?
I am.
I'm gonna have to shoot you my info on WhatsApp, and that'll kind of, you know what I mean, get you a little bit further than the messenger, just because
Yeah,
I
no,
had
I'm
that
on
bitch on
WhatsApp.
silent.
Yeah, no, I'm on WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure out how to exchange info on that.
Yeah, I'll send you on the Messenger my number for WhatsApp. And then, or you send me your number, and then I'll add you whatever's easier because I got a +1, I think it is for America. Pretty sure.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I don't
Uh,
know how to use it. My homie in Germany be showing me how to do that shit, so
nice.
we'll figure it out
But
though.
before we wrap it up tonight, is there anything you'd like to say to me or the public?
Man, if you're not on the motherfucking if you don't do no shit with Justin Newman, Sydney's GOAT, like being on here is diamonds. You not diamonds if you ain't on this platform, bro. Like you have to connect with Sydney's GOAT, bro. You just
Absolutely
have
fine,
to.
man. Thank you. Thank you for that. On my other back of my other merchandise, it's also, if you've seen it, you can't unsee it. That's on the back of my new merch. A
I
big
like
shout
that.
out again to that'll be on the back of that. And also on my other merch, we always win. And the other one is you ain't diamonds if you ain't on this show. That's on the back of all my
That's
merch.
what it, yeah. You ain't
Um,
diamonds if you ain't on this show.
but
Yeah.
you guys will be having the merch very soon.
I'm gonna reach
I
out to
just need,
bro and buy one. Yeah, I want to get my
I,
shit early.
I just need the sizes, and I think I've got. I'm not too sure if I got your sizes. I just need you to send me the sizes and that because I'm doing that this week with him.
I'll work it
So
out, bro.
I need all the sizes from whoever wants to get it. And man, let's get it happening. Let's work on it. One last question I have for you. I know you've answered a lot of questions tonight, so I do appreciate
I'm
it. This is a
cool.
big
Hey,
question.
man, we keep going. It's cool.
This is a big question. What did you think about our interview tonight, and what advice can you take away from it?
Oh, man, I loved it, bro. Like I said, I watched a lot of your other interviews, man. I've done a lot of interviews. I like how you structured everything. I like how you did your journalism. You actually did some research on me, which I appreciate. I appreciate that as far as your feedback, like it's specifically with like PTSD, bro. I put a lot into that, and I
I know.
100% did
I've
not
seen
get
that. That's
what
why,
I
yeah, I've seen that.
invested into it, but I've gotten a good reaction from it, and I appreciate your appreciations on that shit. Like I like what you do. You pay attention. You're in the culture. You're not just a motherfucker that wants to go live and don't know what they talking about.
No, no, no,
You're
no. Yeah,
invested.
correct.
You're invested in this. You know what I'm saying? One thing I'll tell artists: what you need to do, get online, use it to your advantage, network with people in different states, look up open mics to start
Yes,
in another
yes.
state, go to that open mic, go there, network with merchandise, pass your shit out, get contact information, go back home, repeat. That I did that for a lot of years. I wish I did cameras and all that shit, bro. I have rapport in a lot of states, a lot of places. That's
Nice.
why I got off my ass and I went to places because I felt like I wasn't getting what I needed from Michigan alone. Artists need to do that.
You
You
know,
know what I mean?
100%.
Artists need to do
Right?
that, bro.
100%. You need to move around. You need to, as I said, you need to either get out to be international, get out of the country completely, or you need to go and visit all the different states and get to know people, different people all around, which will give you real organic engagements, people that actually know you, not a like or a follow on TikTok.
Yeah, stop
So
buying
that's
bots too, man. That don't do
yeah.
shit. Stop buying bots.
Mm.
Damn it.
Oh, well, a lot of people even do that for the concerts.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Artists, stop buying bots. Stop paying the wrong people. And that's one thing I will say. You're a good one. You're legit, you're realistic, you know what I'm saying, you're fair. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who will misguide you in this game. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, 100. Of
And I think that's
course.
a
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of why people might not invest into you because it's hard seeing who's real or not. But you're a real one, and I salute you for that.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely. I've shared the. I don't know if you know, but there's over 50 celebrities I've met in person. I've named them all before in my other interviews, ranging from big major players. I've shared the stage and different things with all different artists. I was just recently with Little Easy E and DJ Yellow
I
and
like Lil Easy, bro. I've been listening. Yeah, I like Lil Easy, bro.
yeah, so I was just recently with him, and then before that I was recently with Tech 9 and Joey Cool. Before that I was with all different other artists. I've met over 50 different artists all over the world, and the way I do that is I do VIP, I do meet and greet, I spend the money, I meet them, and then I work in the scenes in the background with them. Then I'll do different stuff with them, like I did tracks with Calhoun. You know like it just depends on what you want to do, but if you show people see you keep grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, they get to see who you are. And that's why I've had big major players: Kakahoon, Mickey Fax, Mad Squabbles, AK the Farah, Herb the Phenom, many big stars that I've
Yeah.
interviewed and been. You know what I mean? Like you don't get that overnight. People got to see you to be able to get that interaction
You
or to
have
be
to
able to
get
come.
out there. You have to get out there. I don't know if I used to get out there with my kids. I'd make a family trip. Take
Yeah,
the whole family. When I get in the city, I'm going to open mics. I'm going to an event. If I gotta just pay, I'm not performing. That's cool. I have merchandise on hand,
yeah,
and I'm gonna network with everybody there, bro. I'm telling you, that's what I did. That's why I talk the shit I talk. I put the groundwork in.
hundred
Although,
percent.
like stream wise, numbers wise, you might not see that. I can right now sell enough CDs in Germany alone enough to pay the bills for the month. You know what I mean? That's a little flex
Yeah,
I got, and it feels good. So I appreciate
you know,
what you do
Hunter.
for us.
Speaking of Germany, you know the artist Junk.
What's his name?
Junk.
Send me his link.
Okay, so just so you know, he's worked with the likes of Karski, Yellow Wolf, Ritz. He was on my platform. He's probably one of the biggest out of Germany at the moment. Come from Colorado. He's worked with Mercules, showed with Mercules. He's on tour with Onyx.
Okay.
He's called Junk. He's absolutely phenomenal, man. It blows me away his talent, and he's opening up for Conway in Germany soon. Just blows me away at some of his talent, and not many people have recognized him or heard of him. His name's
I'm gonna
Junk.
tap in with my boy Konski. He produced Plans on my album, which is the last track on Aiming for Greatness Reloaded. Konski, and
Okay.
he knows a lot of people. I'm gonna
Okay.
ask him about him.
Ask him if he knows Junk. I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he
But
does.
um, but also coming up on the platform next week is Kenzo King, which works with Jadakiss and everything like that. Different things he's doing with Jadakiss, which has brought another big thing to my name.
Woo!
Kenzo,
Jada Kisses, man. He's one of the
yeah,
best.
yeah. So as you know, we've got Jadakiss on the album as well. So you guys will be proud of that. Jadakiss is on our album. So
That's
you know,
dope, bro.
my mate that works with Jadakiss called Kenzo King and Carlito Smooth and things like that, which I've stepped up with and come along the way as well, which are from Buffalo. Um, Kenzo King is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and he's working with Jadakiss as we speak, and he's up live with me next week. So same time next week. So check out us next week with
I'm
Kenzo
be
King.
tapped in. You know to tag me in it, bro. Wait till
Yeah,
you hear
yeah.
this shit with Conway.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
But of
yeah.
course.
It's major, bro.
Conway's, as I said, the best artist to come out of Buffalo.
I
Benny
love
the Butcher,
Conway. I love Conway.
it's the best. But Benny the Butcher and all that, and Freddie Gibbs and all of those other ones that are coming up that are from Buffalo. I don't know if you noticed, but I was in Buffalo heavily. I interviewed over 30 different artists from Buffalo alone.
Oh, that's your hot
And
spot. Yeah.
love Buffalo, but
They got an amazing music scene out there for real.
oh yeah, but they've also got a lot of hate too, man. Oh. But um, but Buffalo itself, from what I've seen and the people I've interviewed, a lot of different people I've worked with, unfortunately, and I'll say this because I know clearly because I've worked in the industry for a while, Buffalo don't like to help other artists get up. Simple as that.
Bro,
Simple.
you know what city did I say I'm from? I'm from Pontiac, Michigan. Bro, it's the
Yeah,
same shit.
yeah. So there you
But
go.
it's even worse
Um,
because Buffalo is a way bigger city than ours.
have you been to Heavenly Studios in Detroit and been with Royster 59?
I've been in that studio. I haven't been in there personally with Royce the 5'9" though.
Okay, I
But
had an
I've been to that
opportunity.
studio for sure, yeah.
I had an opportunity with also Ty Farris. Do you know who he is?
I've heard that name, yeah.
Yeah, he's fire, man. I tell you something. He's like Lloyd Banks. He doesn't like to do live shows, but when he pops out, he pops out. It's a bit like RJ Payne. Doesn't do a live shows, but when he pops out, he's the goat. You
Yeah.
know. So, but I'm just saying that because Heavenly Studios and that affiliated Detroit. And that'd be really good to get out there and meet Royce the 59 in the studio and stuff like that. Be fire for you. It'd be dope. I
Yeah,
did have some.
my dude Forever Foy, he's part of the Cypher Society. You'll have to check him. Mike Foy is his name. Grinch, tag him if you can, bro. He knows a lot of those dudes. He grew up in Detroit. He's from that, that era. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So he probably knows all them dudes personally.
You know, I got a track with Eminem on the album as well.
Yeah. No, I already know. Grinch been telling me, bro. I've been impressed.
So
You
I've
let
got a
me
lot
know
of
what
different.
you need from us to help with the album.
Yeah, 100%. So I've got a lot of different features, different things happening. But what I'm saying is, I talk like how can I explain? I talk to the people direct. I don't go to the middle. I speak to the artist
You have to
directly.
go direct. That's the only way to
Yeah.
do it.
Because if you go to the middleman, they rip you off, and then the artists
Oh, the
don't know nothing.
manager, man.
The artists don't know nothing about it. They'll take the money, and you'll never see it.
Hey, that's how I
So
did. I had to do that with Project Pack, bro.
yeah,
I did it with another artist, but I had to tell him like, bro, go straight to him. Fuck all that, because dude was trying to get us for an extra $1,000, and I'm like, no. I knew my
yeah,
business.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely right. Cut out the middleman.
But yeah, so that's what's happening, and you know, I've got a few things that if you look on my wall, you'll see a few different things that I've dropped as well, different track solos and different things. You know, working with Beanie Siegel and the things that I've done as well, man. That's a big shout out to Carla Bishop. We work with Beanie Siegel as well. So that was a big shout out to from Buffalo as well. So
Hell
another
yeah.
great,
That's
another
dope. Beanie
great.
Siegel, man. I got a dude from my city. Project Logic is his name, man.
Oh yeah.
He's not with the Cypher Society or nothing like that. He went actually to Philly to do a song with Freeway and him and a video. Dope. So shout out to Black Gypsy, Will Black. I have to throw that out there too.
Well, I will ask this: how come I don't hear much of Snow from Cypher Society? You know, Mr. Grinch's brother. He's absolute dope.
Snow, I mean shit, man. He's just been doing it a long time. I just gotta put him in a headlock and give him a noogie maybe.
It's very hard.
No,
It's
that's my
very
bro,
hard.
man. He's really a legend. He don't really talk about it enough. That motherfucker been on TV, all types of shit. You know,
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah,
Click. I was in Ghost Click when he, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of years. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I was part of me. My brother
yeah.
Fight was part of Ghost
Since
Click.
2009.
Yeah, nah, that was Snap Mode Click. That was my group. Before then, we was part of Ghost Click.
Okay,
When we was like I told you, we was doing shows and stuff, and I was in high school. We were a part of Ghost Click. Snow
nice.
was in prison at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he
Right.
got out of prison, we started doing shows and stuff, and then yeah. But yeah, Snow is dope. I was just telling him the last cipher he was at. I'm like, bro, you got to drop some more albums.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah. He
playing.
definitely. You'd be lucky if you get a 2 minute song from him. Like
Yeah. I might
Snow,
call him after this shit and talk some shit.
Snow's fire. Mr. Grinch and Snow. They're
Yeah.
absolutely dope.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. They're absolutely dope. You know, the things that I've seen Snow do and Mr. Grinch and you know, a lot of the other one, Pizu. Uh, Pizu, man, like he like lyrically is just insane. He
Mm-hmm.
needs to get out. I understand he's going through personal things at the moment, but he needs to get out there and come on live and do things like he's been doing his live videos. But he needs to do music side. He needs to get a lot of the stuff happening with the music because he's absolutely dope. Pizu is absolute fire. But
Absolutely.
I've got him with Jarrell Benton, just so you know, on the album
Oh
and a few other.
Jared Benton is fire.
Yeah, so I got a few of the other things as well happening as well. But yeah, but that's pretty much everything that I've got to say. Is there anything else you'd like to say at all, Shane?
Um, Big shout out to the Cypher Society, man. JMF Hustler, man. Shout out to Johnny Germani. We got him on the he's gonna be on the Gucci one with us, man. Shout out to
Nice.
Krim. Shout out to Forever Foy. Shout out to Real Dirty Dan. Shout out to Ozzy, bro. Shout out to everybody who tapped in, bro. Man,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll have
I
to
just
check out. I'll have
appreciate
to
you
check
fucking
out the
with us. I
comments.
got a lot of love, a lot of people in my circumference that I fuck with. So I just
I'll,
appreciate
I'll
everything you do, bro.
I'll have to check out the comments. There's a fair few comments because I've been talking and that I don't check it out because I don't want the thing to go
No, for
while I'm
sure,
like,
for
you
sure.
know what I
Everybody I
mean? So,
seen, man, is thorough and offers something, man. So I hope they network with you and we keep this thing expanding, man.
so did you hear my new track? Did you hear the track I did with Ritz and Izzy Lap?
Nope, send it to me. I'm gonna buy it as soon as you send it to me.
So it's on my it's fire, man. It's dope.
Is it
But
on Apple Music?
no, it's on all the platforms.
Okay, because I'm weird. I like to buy music because
Yeah.
when I buy it, I value it different, and I'm going to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. No, no well, let's just have a little chat about that just quickly. For the iTunes, I've noticed a lot of artists are doing iTunes, and that's great. Only because Spotify and all the other platforms are giving a couple of cents here if you're lucky to get this and that.
Yeah,
But listen, the best thing to do when like I said to Mr. Grinch, the best thing to do is to actually put on CDs, vinyls, and
bro.
get that Bandcamp link or get those other links where you can only listen to the music if they buy it. And then when they've bought it and they've listened to it and you've got enough money that you're happy with that you've made from them, then put it on the platforms.
bro. That's all
Because
I
if you,
do is physicals, bro.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
my bread and butter. I agree with
but
you.
but the reason I'm saying that is because Spotify and all that's great and all that. No issues there. All the platforms great, but they're not making money for artists. The only way to make
I
money,
hate Spotify, bro. I hate
see,
Spotify. I've
the,
hit
the only,
I've hit couple hundred thousands independently, no boost, nothing on my own, and
yeah,
haven't seen shit from it.
yeah.
I
Well,
hate it.
um, the only thing I can say to you is if you make if you make your own link and you say this is how much it is to buy the album, and they know who you are, they buy it. After a certain period of time, you'll put it on CDs and vinyls and whatever you like, and then it goes to the streaming platforms. That's what people are doing now because the platform putting it on the platforms is great, no problem, put it up. But if they hear it, they're not going to buy it. Why are you going to put it on a platform and then tell them to go buy it? They're only going to go to that platform and hear it. But if they can't go to the platform and hear it, they'll buy it.
That's why having a certain kind of fan base is very important,
Yeah, it is very important.
and that's where I've been blessed because I like I said I always got to shout out Germany, man, because they're the type they're like I don't want to hear it online. I
Yeah,
want a physical and I want it signed. Then
yeah,
after I get that, then I'll listen to it online because I don't want to open the CD.
yeah,
Then a lot of times they'll ask for one signed, so they never open it, and then they'll
yeah,
have one that they can open and listen to, and then they'll still stream it online. Bro,
yeah.
they
See that
spend
that
money,
that's
bro.
done. Yeah,
That's
that's
real.
what you need.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's what you need because you know yourself, artwork, merchandise, music, everything. You're putting all your own money into it. So then when you go to do it at the back end of it, you want something back so you can keep going on with your business. No business makes no money and keeps going.
Exactly, bro.
So that's a lot of that's what a lot of people don't understand is being an artist. You've got to put all your own money in. All you got to do your own money. You got to do everything. You got to do all these steps, and all you do is ask someone to buy your album or to buy your CD, and they don't do that. Well, then it's not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
hello,
do.
it's something not right here. You know what I mean? Like, so. And same thing with merchandise. Oh, I don't like it because it's blue. Do you have a yellow one? Oh, I don't like green. Do you have a pink one? You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy.
Bro,
Like
listen.
some of the.
Listen,
But
man. One
anyway,
thing I do about
Shane.
the cipher that can't nobody I buy my people's merchandise and wear them on my ciphers. This is
Yeah,
Dutch. This is my dude Dutch from Detroit. Just
yeah,
one of the last ciphers I just bought. I don't even care as long as it fits me. I don't care what color.
yeah.
Um, I was holding this up earlier. Dark web. That's OZ100 Cipher Society. I buy my
Nice.
people's stuff and I wear it. I use it on something where people can see it.
Yeah,
Um,
no, 100%.
and I just,
My
I hope that they can show some of the same love when it's my time. That's all I ask for. But
my
one
lot.
thing I do is I represent my people.
Yeah, my logic is buy other people's buy other people's stuff, buy other people's merchandise, and respect it. But more importantly, make sure that you support yourself. So, for instance, um, basically, I buy my merchandise, I buy other people, but make sure other people get behind you as well. Like I've been told many artists that if you do things for everybody and they don't do anything back for you, but you keep doing it for so long, they're just going to think that that's past the past, or they're just going to accept it and not going to
You're
do
right.
anything for you.
You're right.
That's just how it is in that's just how it is in the game. But if I go and buy someone's merch, then they'll buy my one back. If I go and represent or support someone, then they support me back. Like scratch your back, I scratch yours. But not
Exactly.
many. There's a lot of people that just don't do that, and
Oh
you know,
man, I know it.
crazy. But anyway, it's been a great interview. Everything that we're doing is great. Like I said, I have Kenzo King with me next week, works with Jardicus and things like that. I've got a lot of different things happening. Like I've done 600 interviews at 1 hour an interview. If you do the math on that, how much time is that? So, you know, we've just had an hour and a half interview here today. Today here, just so you know, it's Sunday here in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah,
It's Saturday over there, your time, Saturday night over there. We're many, many
we're a minute.
miles
It's
away
about to be
from.
Saturday in 1 minute. I mean Sunday in 1 minute.
There you go. See, so I think we've had an hour and a half interview.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. Pontiac
So,
Hammerheads, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
but this will go on all different platforms. I would like you to share the interview with me and email me the interview as well, please.
Hey, when we get off, just inbox me with exactly what you need from me, and I got you. I'm gonna do it right now.
Awesome. And Big P, if you're here, can you email me our interview, please?
Big P
Please.
tag sis. Big P.
Um,
Send it in, family.
so send our interview, and can't wait to hear with Little Wayne and a few of the things that you're doing with us as well, man. Absolutely fire, Big P. Thank you for
I'll have to
everything.
get ready for that.
But
Appreciate you, bro.
yeah,
Thank
man.
you for having us. Thank you for what you do. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't get enough of that.
All good, brother. We'll message you in the messenger, and let's get this interview everywhere.
I got you.
Because it shows your talent, your music, and who you are, international exposure, all of that. So let's get it.
All right. On point. White Boy Productions. Sydney's go.
Salute.
Appreciate you, bro.
Take care, brother.
Yes, sir. You too.
Salute.